Circus Cities is a new CircusTalk Original Video Series by me, your Think Like an Acrobat host, Shenea Stiletto. In each episode, I will explore a city with a vibrant circus community by sitting down with artists and service providers who reside in this circus city. The conversations will range from basics to specifics, from job opportunities and training space to living opportunities and conditions, including visas and work permits. This series is designed to equip you with everything you need to know about these circus cities so you can see what's out there and feel confident in your decision to permanently or temporarily relocate or not. Next episode, Santiago. Welcome to Circus Cities Spotlight Santiago. I am so excited to speak to our circus guests today. They are going to tell us about everything you need to know about the circus life in Santiago, Chile. For those that are maybe not familiar with where Santiago is in the world, it is in Latin America. It is in Chile. It is a beautiful place from what I have heard and from what I understand from all of my circus friends from over the years. And so we are joined here today with some very special guests that are going to bring us into the world of circus in Santiago specifically. And so welcome to the series, Fernando and Cesar. Thank you so much for joining Circus Cities Santiago.
Thank you so much for calling us. For at least for me, I feel really pleasure to be here. So I'm so excited for this meeting. It's gonna be a good time with you both as well. So thank you.
Oh, Shenea, thank you for inviting us. It's a pleasure, as Fernando said, for me too, to being here to talk about our reality in Santiago, capital of Chile, and how the circus work here. And yeah, sure to.
Well, please.
I'm glad to be here. Yes.
That's fantastic. Thank you both so much. Fernando, can you tell us a little bit about what you do in Santiago in the circus?
Okay, how I'm gonna start this kind of story, at least, well, what I do, I kind of survive here in Santiago. I went to Santiago in 1 month ago. I used to live here when I was 19 and 20, but the pandemics made come back to Viña del Mar. I'm actually aerial hoop artist. I was doing 11 years of deep contortion, but at the same time, I tried the aerial hoop, which is right now my main discipline. And right now in Chile, I do like lessons, workshops, online lessons for everybody who wants that. And that's how I survive, and that's how I live as well. Like
Wonderful.
Just coaching things, and I don't do like, oh, I'm getting frozen. I'm not doing like too much performances this period of time, but just because as an own decision. But I do more performances or coaching like in Europe. I was invited all the time in Europe, Mexico, United States as well. I was touring in Canada with the Vampire Circus, also in Miami and San Diego. So I try to work more outside that than here because, well, one of my dreams is like work a lot to move to another country, at least 6 months or 1 year to have a contract. So I work hard for that, and I try to be like doing many things for being like, you know, available and being like still working, still existing as an artist and also as a coach.
Wonderful. Cesar, what do you do in the circus in Santiago?
I'm actually the director of a circus school. I was the founder of the circus school Elevarte 12 years ago. So now I'm guiding this school, and my role is to offer the different disciplines in like hand balance, like aerial, different type of aerial to recreative part of the school. And also we have formation, preparatory formation that it calls EPAC. And that today it's running their eighth generation of it. So basically, I start as a gymnastic. Then I found the circus in certain way. Though then I start to practice in circus, and then I found the circus school, and it changed a lot from the beginning to for today. Actually, is more bigger and more serious, more professional. So now we are trying to survive as a circus school as professional as we can.
Is it easy to have a circus school in Santiago? Is there a lot of competition for circus schools in Santiago?
Actually, after pandemic, a lot of circus went down because it was unavailable to work through 2 years. So all the who dedicate to the movement, like all the how can I express the idea is to it was hard after pandemic, but we still surviving in certain way, and it's not easy because actually the circus in Chile is not it's not considered by the government as a professional career. So it always work as something like a line down of the professional stuff. So it's hard to project your career in circus as a circus artist. You have to do it like Fernando as an independent artist and travel to try to have a to develop your career by your own.
So do you feel like there is a lot of work opportunity in Santiago? So if you go from the circus school and then you want to have a career in the circus, do you feel like you have to travel outside of Santiago to make that career? Or is there work in Santiago that will take you out of Santiago, for example, for a job? How does it work for you to be able to have more of a career?
Now it's they are opening windows to the artist staff because the circus in Chile is developing a new atmosphere. It is creating a new way to after the contemporary circus start to be more knowledge. So, asking your first question, it's not necessary. Here in Santiago, we have like one professional circus career in Circo del Mundo, and then all the rest of the another formations are how you say is not professional, like preparatory, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so the
Yes.
schools are not professional at so you have only one place where you can obtain the circus artist title or certification. But even that, as I told you before, the government don't consider it as a professional career. So it's hard to have to project you here, but nowadays we have more opportunities. There are some you can win different how you say concursos. Let me have the translate.
Como concursos así como de internet, ponele.
No, como los concursos en relación a los fondar contest. How you say that, Shenea?
Like,
I'm not exactly sure.
It's like you have to fill a form, and it's like a social project, and you have to send it to the government, and the government say if you are able or not to execute that. It's like yeah, it's like a social contest to have some support, economic support or social support by the government. Yep.
So we call that in America, it's like a grant. So it would be like they're giving you a grant of some sort. Like if they're giving you money to start this circus project, or they're just giving you permission to start this social circus project, it would be either with or without money. So I guess we could call this a grant in your case. Do you feel like grants and the government giving you access to start programs is easy in Santiago? Is that something that is really normal in Santiago to do that? Most people have to do that?
How do you see, Fernando?
¿Qué cosa?
How do you see
the situation about the grants?
Situation about, yes. Do you think it's difficult or easy to get the public fund?
So I'm sorry if I sound like an anti-Chilean person, because sometimes I get really mad, like doing a perspective of all that happens when you are going out all the time and you see the different realities and how it's valued in other countries. I think that the grant system is one more business. You can apply, you can fill the things, you can ask for the support of the government, but you have to fill a lot of more papers, a lot of more documents, and you can be like in the list of persons that need the support. But all the time, the government, ¿cómo digo? Como municipalidades, como like the districts,
yes,
choose the same person, the same people, the same the same spaces, and don't let the other or the new ones to have the same support. So I think it's like I applied like twice or three times, I don't remember, when I was trying to have my own space, and I had everything, and like I made sure that I had everything to apply and everything to have the support. But instead of that, like the district or the support went to the same space, like in its 10th time probably. They had won a lot of projects, so it's like that's how it works, at least not in Santiago. I'm just talking like in Quilpué, Viña del Mar, which is the other region of Chile. I don't know how it works in Santiago. But
there's like a lot of favoritism I see in the process. It's kind of political in the process too. Like if you're familiar with them, then they kind of keep on helping out the same people, and then the other people that need support don't really get it. So the ones that have the support keep getting the support. The ones that don't have it struggle to get it, and then you're just kind of like left to do things for yourself. It's similar. I think it's similar in a lot of places. I mean, I would say it's kind of similar like that in America too, where there's the favoritism, and then the people that are winning keep winning because they're the ones that get the help. And then people wonder why the other people that could be winning don't win.
It's like the more you win, the more you can be able to have more support or win more projects. It's like the same thing. It's like, it's like simply.
Instead of spreading it around. Do you feel like it's expensive to live in Santiago, or is it pretty affordable? Does your money go far when you're living in Santiago? Because obviously, if you're running a business, if people are coming and paying to go to circus school, is that expensive for them to go to circus school in Santiago? Or is it something that people can pay for? It's not so expensive. And yeah, is it expensive overall just to live in Santiago? Is it affordable for circus people to live in Santiago? What do you think, Cesar, Fernando?
I think it's not too hard to study here circus, but we have to start from the base that in Chile the study is not public; it's private. You have to pay to get access to a good formation in as a professional and universitary way. So I think it is it's affordable, but ¿cómo se decía sueldo?
Salary.
Fernando? Salary, yes. The salary actually is not too good here in South America. So you have to work a lot, but even that you can do it, in my experience.
Yeah, I completely agree with Cesar, because here in Chile, like culturally, the circus art is like the last thing that people can, like value as a professional art. Because I think circus thing is one more professional thing to that brings, the culture, the expansion of that. But I think for me, it's not too expensive. But as Cesar told you, like you have to work a lot and you have to be all the time uh, like swimming against the system to be like more recognized. And also, it's like you combine that, the not the support of the government, the culture thing, like the society don't, well, right now the society is like agreeing more with the circus, but it's like it's getting slow. um but like in the circus community, or at least that's how I feel, that it's like you have to deal with the egos, and then you have to all the time keeping focus on your thing, because if not, you are getting like down, and then you stop doing things or the thing that you used to do. So you have to keep yourself up all the time. Like you don't have to stop. You have to work to survive. Like at least is that's like my experience. I've been like working a lot here in Chile for 14 years, but it's like all the time like fighting and going up and working and fighting and working, and that's sometimes exhausting. So yeah.
I can
But
imagine. Do you think, please
no,
continue.
it's fine.
Do you think that it's easier for people that are not from Chile or not from Santiago to come into Santiago to work in the circus? Or is it easier if you are born in Santiago or if you are Chilean to work there? Do you feel like people come in and they're not from there and they take the jobs and they get more opportunities, or they get an easier chance because they're not from Santiago? Or do you not see it like that? Do you see that it's more like if you're local and you're there, you can get the job, you can get the opportunity easier? What do you
Definitely,
think?
if you are local, it's more easier. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Because the visa to work here in Chile, you have to be in with all your papers in order. That so you have to first have all your papers in order, and then you have to have a contract for a company who gives you the your bag, your who hold you through a certain period of time. So in that time you can work, but it's not easier to for the outers.
Mm.
How do you
Right.
think,
And
Fernando?
even
Yeah.
Fernando, yeah.
Yeah, I think like the same. I think being local is easier, more if you are from Santiago. Like people from Santiago only works with people from here. So yeah, for the foreigners, it's like difficult because of the papers, like the visas, the contracts, and also for circus things is harder to them. So here, like local people, we can fit like better, like easier
Yeah.
into the circus work. But lately, many foreigners have come here to perform with like two bigger circus we have here. There's like lately. Yep.
Why do you think that's happening lately? If it's not something that happened before, what changed?
I think like the perspective of the people who run circuses, like they realized that circus is not just circus artists are not the family or the closer people. It's like they realize that there's more talent out of the family of the circus. I think that's one of the things that has been happening since not a long of years. Like because when I started to do traditional circus when I was 17, the thing was really hard. You have to get many contacts to perform in a tiny circus. But right now it's like more open to anybody who's in a high level.
I'm actually think, for example, that there are not too a lot of opportunity to work here as a circus artist. So in that way, for the foreigners are more hard to develop a career here, and also the government don't give a lot of support to them. So basically, to be local is m- most easier to work as a circus artist or develop a career as a um, instructor or something like that related to the circus.
Mm. So it's easier to make your way if you're teaching, if maybe you're coming in for a short amount of time. I know that there's a lot of tours that go through Chile that are international and that come through for periods of time too. So I think that's interesting. It's interesting to see that. I know that as well, from what I understand, it's very generational in Chile with the circus community there. And that it seems to be kind of changing. So it's not so generational. It's not so I only hire my family. I only hire like the friends that I have that are closest to me. They're
Yes,
opening up and interested in having people outside of the generational family come into the circus and work with them. So that's interesting.
Yeah, it's happening. As I told you, like it's happening slowly, but at least it's
Hmm.
happening because the circus traditional community, at least, used to be so close, like so. They
related with
mhm,
just with the
yeah,
circus traditional
like the
environment. Yeah,
generations. Yep.
yeah, generation after generation. So and now they are open the doors to the new circus, and so we start to communicate, have a dialogue with them. So
So I think that mix is because of the new circus. Like when new circus came to Chile, like which mixes the contemporary, the street art, the like everything. They started to realize that that tendency, ¿cómo se dice tendency? That trend. I don't know how to say that.
And yeah, that
Trend.
Yeah,
transcendency. Yeah.
yeah, it's like bigger and offers like more high level people than just the family, just the close environment of families, and like the opening of the circus world, like the traditional circus world, was like the consequence of the ground of the new circus. So like we all made here, like we say like, oh, there's many schools, many instructors, many, you can put a rigging in a safe place and you can do lessons, you can take, certifications outside or whatever you want. And you stand here and you say like, come here because there's no limit to anybody to do circus, and whatever whoever you are, whatever you are like studying or doing, you can do circus as well. And no matter at what age you start, and you can be a high level person, and that's how it's like that's the reason why also the traditional circus world like opened the doors slowly, but they did definitely. Like it was like, hello, we are new circus, we are good as well, please give us work, basically.
Are there agents in Santiago for the circus? Are there managers? Are there people that, kind of hold power? I know that the circuses seem to hold a lot of power of who they let come inside. It seems like the circus schools are easier to get inside of maybe, but that the circus companies can be a little bit more difficult to get inside. But are there agents for the circus in Santiago that do that, like as their business? To help you to get work, or that control the events, or that control the work in Santiago?
I think particularly as a agent to who
Mm-hmm.
move the different teams or companies that do circus. There is there's not a particular church or cargo. Cargo is church.
Yep.
Yeah. So the company have to work by their own. They run by their own and trying to postulate to different festivals, parties, or whatever. So I think it's more by your own. You run by your own in the market. But something good is happening here because all the different in the market, the companies, the big parties, the big events, all they are starting to include the circus art as a receptions, as a spectacles, as shows. So that opens for us to get more opportunities to work on it. So asking your
Mm.
question, we don't have a manager, but we are very with the eyes opening, looking for the opportunities. And there's a festival, okay, send your apply and try to get the job, uh, something like that.
Yep.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Nothing else to say. Yep.
we don't
That's
have
how it works.
managers. Yeah.
Like like there's no big professional agencies, definitely.
Yeah.
There's like just tiny like tiny companies, but just with the same people. Like, but if we see or we watch some, like festivals or commercials or everything, it's like, okay, apply here, fill a form and go by your own. It's like all the time like that.
Is it mostly online, or do you have opportunities by word of mouth? Do people like tell you about the events and the job opportunities that are happening, or do you go online to find those opportunities?
I think they're both ways.
Yep.
Both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.
A combination.
But also have to recognize that most of that tiny companies also go by contact. Like they don't do too much casting, so they contact to the friend of that. So that's how it moves sometimes, like by contact. But yeah, I mostly have seen like online lately. Yep. It's like more common.
So that's good. If it's online, then it's probably easier. More people can apply. More people know about the opportunity, because if it's just within the agency and it's just like people speaking to each other, it would be way more difficult for more people to try to get that job or to be seen or to like project themselves into the opportunity. So it's good. It's like opening things up more, more access if it's online. Is it easy to, if you're a performer or if you're working, to get like your costumes made in Santiago, to get your equipment that you need for your shows, to be able to design things that you need for your shows for the circus? Or do you have to use companies outside of Santiago a lot if you want to create equipment, if you need things that you need to use for your shows, if you need props, if you need, to do something like creative development? Are you able to do all of that like easily in Chile, whether you're a director or a performer or a choreographer or a producer? How is that? How does that work there? Are there companies that supply that easily in Santiago? Fernando?
Maybe Fernando, you can ask first. You can answer first because you work as an artist, and I can give my view after.
Okay. Yeah. So well, as I told you, we like go by our own, and at least in my experience, I feel lucky because I have many people who support me, like designers or custom designer and everything. But I do my own direction, my own design, my own custom design. I do like everything. Because I'm like 100% self-taught. So I just ask for a space to rent or just for being there. And fortunately, one of my friends run a school, so I can go for free and practice. I used to do it on my backyard in a tiny rig, but right now I have more space with my friends, so I do all the things literally by my own. Like I direct my own choreographies. I try to draw my designs, and my custom designer make that. And then I just film videos, or I go to competitions as a judge, and I have the videos of that. So that's how I try to be, or try to keep up on the work, like having those materials. So yeah, that's at least how I do that, how I survive somehow. Doing performance, even though here in Chile I haven't performed since 1 year. Yeah, like no, like yeah, almost 1 year. Yep.
Shenea, Shenea, can you
Yes.
reformulate the question, because I maybe I misunderstand the point of it.
Yes. So is it easy to find circus equipment? Like, is it easy to find your rigging in
Okay, yeah.
Santiago? Is it, yes, is it
Okay.
easy to
I think the technical equipment is easier because there's just a few people who work on it. So you and the Instagram red network is very open. So just for Instagram, sending a message, you can have your cotización. How you call that, Fernando?
When you watch the prices in different pages, how do you say it? Like when you are valuing the prices, how do you say
When you are
that?
searching.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
How
All
is
of
the
that makes
word?
sense.
What's the verb or the
It's
word of that?
But
like
but
when you're looking at the prices.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's not actually it's not too hard. Yeah,
yeah, it's not hard.
In Santiago at least you have several of guys who develops who build structures or and stuff like who sells seals, who makes aerial hoops, who makes tents for circuits.
Yep.
So you have, I think it's not too hard.
And is it expensive or is it like you can buy this like pretty easily? Is the price like pretty basic?
I think it's a
Mm,
good price. I think it's
yeah,
not
I
that
think it's not
expensive.
too overpriced. Yeah.
Hmm, that's great. That's something that's easy because in not every country and not every city it's like that. Sometimes it's very expensive to buy your props, to buy your aerial equipment, to buy the equipment that you need just for basic training. It can be
I
not very accessible.
I think maybe there is a important aspect that in Chile we don't have a certificate institution who looks to the material construction, the infrastructure. So I think for that reason, the regular equipment it is a standard equipment under a regulation, you know. So maybe in that
Mm.
way it's more affordable.
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah, but
I
Yeah.
understand.
So
That
for
makes that
example,
makes
in
perfect
climbing,
sense.
yeah. For example, in climbing, you have the UIAA. You I is that the you have a principal institution who works to certificate all the equipment that in the market you can sell.
Mm.
In circus, I don't know if there is exist that figure, but in Chile we don't have a company who certificate the equipment.
Ah, I see. So without the regulation, it makes it
Yeah,
easier and cheaper because there's no oversight. There is nothing
yeah,
that they have to pay into or worry about on that end. So it's just very free and open. I see. I
it's a good
understand.
point, though. It's a good
Yeah,
point. Yep. I, yeah,
it
I'm
matters.
speechless.
It
It's
makes a
it's
big
hard.
speechless.
difference.
Yeah, it's a bit different, and it's hard to believe that. I
Yeah.
think because
Mm,
in certain way, you know, because the
hmm
we are working with equipment that hold a person who is hanging on a structure of aerial, you know, but
Yes, and the safety.
no, but yeah,
Yes.
but generation after generation, the information is going to the ones who build the structure, for example, or the equipment.
hmm
They work very very good, and if someone is
hmm
new in the area, you know that he's learning, but you always go to the ones who make for long time ago who is doing the equipment.
And that's
How
not something that you have in every country. I'm sorry, Caesar.
yeah, no, how is that work related to the
Yes,
equipment? Yeah,
I think that's a very big difference too, because even if you're speaking about maybe there's no regulation, but it's generation after generation after generation that's making this equipment, and that's different because in other countries, many other countries, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have people that are doing circus for that many generations making circus equipment with that kind of experience or
Yes.
intelligence with the equipment. So I understand how that would make it safer than people that are just learning in some country. They just look online, they're making the equipment, even if they're under some kind of regulation, they still don't have all of these years of this knowledge that even if it's not certified, it definitely is certified by many generations making this equipment in a certain way
Yeah.
with a certain kind of integrity, which I understand, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So that also in itself is special and unique. Do you want to speak more on that, Fernando, or do you have more to say?
No, no, I'm still thinking about the. No, I'm just thinking weird things right now, but it's fine. It's fine. Nothing else to say. Yeah.
Okay, well, we are coming to the close for the series. This is Santiago, Circus Cities by Circus Talk. It was so wonderful to speak to you, Cesar, and to speak to you, Fernando, about circus living and circus work and circus life in Santiago, Chile. I wanted to ask if you both wanted to leave the show with one comment about your perspective of living and working in the circus in Santiago, in Chile, and what that is like for you. And you can leave our guests with your last comments and your perspective about Santiago and about the circus. Thank you both so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. You're fantastic.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. It's awesome, and thanks for contacting us. And yeah, it's awesome to express our point of view, our different point of view, and have like an encounter there. And yeah, it's fantastic to talk about it because it's a reality that everybody has to know as well. Like in different part of the world, Chile is really special. It's really beautiful. And also answering your question, if again, um, one comment like, how can I express it? Because I have many things to express right now, but one of the most important things for me is that even you have even you fail, even you have the things like harder, you have to keep working on your dreams everywhere, doesn't no matter where you are, and just try to do circus not for other people to compete in a bad way, just try to compete with yourself, and no matter what people say about you, just keep doing your thing, just be humble. And that's the thing that Chile taught to me. Like I learned how to be humble and um, how to move around like the difficulties and everything. So Chile made me feel really strong with that. So you can apply that wherever you are.
Thank you, Fernando. Um, I like to add something that for those who are hearing this or looking this video, and maybe we didn't mention before, that is in Chile and in Santiago. The circus way is a very for those who make circus. It's a very passionate way. So those who give the life for the circus or live in that circus community, they make it with a lot of love and passion. So we are very fortunately, no, we are lucky. I want to say lucky to have that common culture of the circus in the world. We are famous for that. In Chile, the artists who make circus, they are very like they are fall in love with circus, and this is very beautiful to see it.
That is so beautiful.
Yes, I would
Guillermo?
like to close. Yes, I would like to close my thing with that thought about circus in Chile, and now we are for that we are having a community that is still growing, that want to professionalize the work as artists, as instructors, as teachers. I mean, as a technical like riggers, and all the other chart. So we have a nice community here, and we are. If you want to travel here, please contact us, and for sure we will have a give a big welcome here, because we love to share our circus and our passion.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Cesar. Thank you so much, Fernando, for leaving us with those beautiful words about circus in Santiago, Chile. I always hear such beautiful things. And I've had circus friends over the years that have had amazing experiences going in and out of Chile, and doing the circus. And also, too, you just got circus recognition by UNESCO. And I think, that is such an amazing accomplishment for Chile. We can't have that even in America. We can't get circus recognition by UNESCO. So it's amazing that you have now that status in a different way. And I hope that that continues to change the developments of what's happening for the circus in Chile. But I know that there's a lot of circus in Chile. So if you're listening out there and you're interested, there is a lot of circus in Chile. That I know 100% and for sure. And that must make for just such a beautiful and interesting community. And I see that coming through the both of you. So thank you again, Cesar. Thank you again, Fernando. I'm your host, Shenea Stiletto. This is
Thank you,
Circus
Shenea.
Cities, Santiago, by Circus Talk.